Okay, now it's recording. Jump back there. You can have that.
Why do I have it?
Because you have the hat.
Who's going to ask the questions?
Okay.
In hindsight, I should have put who wrote the question.
Yeah. I remember most of them.
Alright.
That one was from Brandon. I think that one was from Brandon. That one was Brandon.
Number 3 is not really a question, is it? The people want to see, that's sort of... We can still answer it.
Okay, go ahead and give us the intro.
What's the intro?
I don't know. You're in a hat, so do it.
Alright, today we're going to do a Q&A session here with questions from our loving fans and our wide audience of fans. The whole 6 people who ask questions. Mostly, I think 16 people will see this, so we haven't done much for the backdrop, or other than this hat, any kind of props. But here we are, and here's the questions.
After all, we are the minds who brought you of Dice and Men, so I mean, I didn't think you guys would flip out if we didn't have a cool backdrop. But we are gearing up to do Dice 2 finally, and it's a sort of a, I guess, healing process that we're all going through, because everything we've tried to film from the wrapping of the first Dice movie to right now has been complete and utter failure.
Yeah, so there was Dice 2.
This
Afterglow.
This is not the first time that we've tried to shoot Dice 2. Everyone knows the problems we had with Dice 2. We had lazy actors. We had a lazy director. We had subpar script written by myself. We were just trying to, from the success of the first one, we were just trying to push out a shitty sequel, and then it didn't work. We have tons of footage. You guys are all gonna get to see it when we're gonna
release it, whether it's with a disc version or just on YouTube on our channel. You're gonna get to see the shark abortion, the Dr. Marlowe rape scene, the what else was there? Chuck Roberts.
There's an eye part. There's an eye part where our actor Dylan Wright gets his eye popped out from John Cornwall.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff that we may actually end up using. You never know. Eventually, you guys are going to get to see it, though.
In this stage, it's not very cohesive together. It's more or less like random scenes, because the other parts of the movie aren't filmed, but it's enjoyable by itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's not to say that we didn't have fun doing it, but I mean, it was very stressful, especially for me, because I mean, there was one day where Mitchell, you know him as the kid who gets raped in the first Dice movie,
and in the second one,
and you guys have many questions about that. But where Mitchell actually he sat down in the makeup chair, and I spent a long time drawing fake tattoos on his arms, and he was playing this drug dealer type, and it was a cool character. I think I want to put it somewhere else in one of our other movies, but he was possibly the best actor that we had in Dice 2, and unfortunately, it's sad no one ever got to see it, because it was definitely, I don't want to say Oscar worthy, but it was the closest thing Mitchell will ever come to that.
Mitchell, definitely.
Us, on the other hand, you just wait for Dice 2. But, yeah, so this video blog was so that we would answer your questions and we can inform you about what's going on the sequel front, and expect more of these. But we have here about 9 questions. A couple of them were basically essentially the same thing. We're going to start off with this one. I'm going to read it as is. We didn't change any grammatical errors or anything.
Why should we do that?
Yeah. It would appear as if your rape scene in the cult classic Faux Dice and Men has become one of the most memorable scenes for your fans. Did you intend to create another one of these horrific experiences, or something far more terrifying?
In fact, we've already, as I said, have another rape scene that was filmed but never used. And as for in the future, more horrific scenes, you're going to have to just tune in to Dice and Men 2 to see that. I can guarantee you there's going to be some disgusting, if not more disgusting, stuff in the second one than there was in the first.
Okay, so this question sort of goes with that one, and it is, What was going through your minds with a UR as the directors when coming up with the famous rape scene that ended up being excessively long with a dead silence? What motivated you to come up with it, and how exactly were you, with a U, trying to reach the audience by doing it in such a fashion? I'll take this one. Alright. Really, it came out of, in my head, I was like, let's fuck with Mitchell.
That's about it.
It was funny. I didn't tell Mitchell there was a rape scene. He didn't know about it. If you have been lucky enough to see any of the deleted scenes or hear the commentary for the first one, you know this. As far as it being that long and silent, we thought it was funny. We laughed our asses off while filming it, so like the audio was bad anyway. And it wasn't exactly our intention when we were filming, but it ended up great as that it's like this long, awkward silence when the audience is like, what am I watching? Like, it's like you walk in and then you see, like your parents fucking or something. It's like, oh my god, why am I watching this, you know? And it's like a cool, long, awkward silence. It makes you rethink why you're watching it and what, like, it gives you that kind of question, and that's, I like it. Like, and we fully intend to rape Mitchell in every movie.
Yeah. Even if it's a small bit. I also want to mention that the rape scene, the black and whiteness, was like a parody of art movies, which is a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
There's another question in here, but we'll get to that. But that was mostly the intention.
Okay. So since you referenced that, why don't we just jump to that question, and that is, in the original of Dyson Men, what is the meaning behind the bush that the sexy man in the red shirt points out?
Gus Van Sant. That's about it.
Gus Van Sant. There's a shitty movie, we're not even going to promote it.
No, we don't want you to watch it.
Where they focus on a bush for a really long time, and like wind starts to blow, and it's sort of, we just thought it would be funny, hey, that was kind of douchebaggy, so why don't we have this douchebag in a red shirt walk by this bush, compliment the bush, and then get his face ripped off.
I want to mention, this douchebag's the one who bought that movie thinking it was the best thing ever, because it's about Kurt Cobain, his last days or some shit. But you couldn't tell it from the movie because it's incomprehensible.
It's total crap. I mean, no one who's watching this is gonna watch it.
Rather be waterboarded.
Yeah. So this question is, what does that man look like behind the monkey mask? Your fans are anxious to know. Well, there's a reason he had the mask on. He's an ugly prick. And a diva to work with. You didn't, after seeing his ass, did you want to see his face? Wouldn't you rather just leave some things to your imagination?
Yeah, I'd rather pick the ass over the face.
It's less hairy. We all know this.
Oh, that was wrong. Why did he have such a hairless ass? I don't understand.
It honestly looked like he had himself prepped for that scene. Like he waxed or something. Plucked. And there's this, the people want to see more of the monkey man's ass with a smiley face, and more raping too, haha. Well, we promise more rape. As far as the monkey man's ass, we're not sure if we want to work with him again.
And we don't want to see more of that ass.
Yeah, we had to film that, alright? That was me holding the camera for that rape scene. And I was somewhere lost between disgusted and crying from laughter, and those two feelings mixed together really curl your stomach.
It was funny the first time. The second time, it wouldn't be funny to anybody, I don't think.
It's like with the rape scene, it's like, oh man, this is messed up. And then he turns around, and that's when the shot, it's like, oh no, oh, that's the reaction everyone has. It's like, they're like, that's disgusting. And the next one, we're going to shock you in other ways. Alright? Ray Delancey's ass will not be in the sequel.
His ass looked curled. It goes from this to like that.
It had its own ass. If you go back and watch, there's like this ass with its own little ass.
You can never say that his ass didn't have personality.
I mean, it's a memorable ass, but for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly.